What do you know? What do you know? Le magazine anglais qui vous permet de baigner dans la langue de Shakespeare. What do you know? Une production et une réalisation de RAMATOU OYAWOLE.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Radio Lomé for our discussions of today, Saturday. For our discussions of today, I have 3 guests in the studio. You are welcome to the studio of Radio Lomé. Our faithful listeners would like to know you.
Hello, madam. I am very fine. Thank you. I think you are also fine. We praise the name of the Lord. Okay, madam. My name is Daniel Kofi Tugaja. I am an English teacher currently in your district. Thank you very much for your invitation in your beautiful studio of Radio Lomé for this program. Thank you. I am really grateful to this chance that you give me. Thank you very much, madam. Let me take at the same time this opportunity to send my sincere greetings to all our dear listeners across the country and abroad. We thank them very much, because if they are not there, if they cannot listen to us, we are going to preach in the air for nobody. So I thank them very much for listening to Radio Lomé. Thank you, madam.
Okay, you are welcome once again, Mr. Kofi Dugbaja. What is polygamy?
Okay, let's come back to this program. Thank you, madam, for this question that you asked me. Polygamy. What is polygamy? You know, polygamy is a way for a man of taking more than one wife as a marital life. A house in which the man, who is the head of the family, takes more than one wife. That house is a polygamic family. The man is a polygamous there. So there we can say that that man practices polygamy there. The opposite side is a monogamy, where the man only marries only one wife. That is monogamy. Thank you, madam. That is the simplest way we can say it, and it is understandable like that. Thank you, madam.
Mr. Abochivia Elom, how are you doing? Hope you are doing good. Welcome to the studio of Radio Lomé for our discussions. What are the disadvantages of polygamy in our society today?
Yes, thank you very much, madam. You know, on the other hand, the disadvantages of polygamy in our society are a lot. The disadvantages of polygamy, the inconvenience of polygamy. A man having more than one wife has so many inconveniences in our society today. You know, no woman will be happy that the man that has married her and they started the race of life. No woman will accept for the man to go and engage in another relationship. No woman will accept that. But on the other hand, a woman can accept, to go into marriage with a man that has already a wife, looking at some of the, benefits that person or that second woman will get from the man. But the one that is already there as the first wife will never be happy that the man that she is sharing their life with or her life with will go again and get another to come to add to her. No woman will accept that. That is my own point of view. No woman will be happy at the husband that they start the race of life together. That is why I don't see, and maybe it may exist in the world, but it might not be common, for a man to get married at the same time or to more than one woman. Maybe it may exist in the world, but it may not be common. That the man is preparing to be married and is getting married to 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time. It may exist, but it may not be too common. A man always gets married to a woman. That is a certain. And that woman will never be happy. Will never accept. For the one that she is sharing, because the Bible says the two shall become one. And that one will not be happy that the husband is going again for another woman to come and add to her. So this is the very first disadvantages of polygamy. It doesn't bring happiness. Of course, some of our society today, or some of the religion, they do accept, for a man to get more than one. And let me tell you the facts. If the woman accepts, based on the religion that she finds herself in her, she will not be completely happy. It's like you have something in the hole and somebody is coming to share that thing with you. So the joy of having the thing yourself completely, that joy has reduced. And we get to a situation where a man can have 5, 6, 7. Look at it. Something that you have first by yourself alone. And you are now 7 sharing it. You are now 8 sharing it. Some of them, they look at the benefit, the money, or, the wealth of the man, and they accept. Okay, as long as, I also have a house, and I don't need anything in life, talking about money or whatever, I'm okay. But I don't see it because I've noticed 1 or 2 things in the world, in our society today. Polygamy, on my own point of view, and on my background in Christianity, I don't think it's a good thing. I don't see anything good in it. And madam, if you want to get a little bit further, a man, for instance, in a Christendom, I don't know how our friend Muslim or, accept it and adopt it. But we come to Christianity, for instance, we don't notice so many things. Some men, they have no plan to marry more than one. But by the way of cheating on the woman, they get another woman pregnant. And at times they are being forced, as long as they get the woman pregnant, they are being forced to marry that woman. So many men, or most, are into polygamy today, not on their own pleasure, or not that they plan to have more than one. And this is one of the, in our society, as I said earlier, this is one of the advantages for some people. If the man has more than a wife, then they will not be cheating in that home anymore. There will not be anything like my husband is cheating on me. No, because I'm already aware that I'm not alone. But even in that one, some of them go on cheating. Yeah. So there are so many things wrong, for me when you're talking about polygamy. And you also bring, you understand, hatred among the children. I'm from a polygamous ground. That's why I'm saying that I'm from a polygamous family. And as to today, some of the things that I'm noticing, some of the things that are going on now is terrible. You understand? So I don't see anything good in it. There are so many disadvantages when you talk about polygamy. And it brings so many things. You, the man that is being married, or getting married more than a wife, even you yourself, your life is in danger. Your life is in danger. You can't at any time. Some of the women, they go further by, doing all kinds of things. This one also wants to have the man for herself. The other woman also pass through some means to have the man attention on herself. And you, the man, you are in between them like a toy. This one will pull you this way. This one to pull you this way. And there's no happiness. Every time, there is fights, misunderstanding, quarreling in the house, so many noise. The children from the various women, there's no love in them. There's no, oneness in them. So many things happen. Some of the women, they are very jealous. Some, they go to the extent of exterminating or killing the other woman's children. There are so many things that involve in polygamy. so many that involved in polygamy. I don't know, but I would doubt that there is a peaceful polygamist family in the world today. Where everybody, all the women, they are one, the children are one, there's no jealousy. I'm not sure. I am not quite sure because there are so many things wrong. Wrong if having more than a wife. So many things wrong. And mother, and some of the children that you see, if it happen that man does not have the financial power to cater for the children, the man does not have the financial capability to cater for the children, is most of those children who become armed robbers in our societies. Most of them become armed robbers. Most of them they live so many life because the father, some of them are irresponsible. They don't cater for the children. They don't have the power, financial power to cater for the children. And the children end up in the streets. Some of them that are girls, they end up practicing prostitution to survive. Some of them that are men, they end up practicing so many things. Stealing, so many things. Killing people to survive. And who caused it? Because those children didn't come by themselves. Who caused it? That man. That polygamist man. That man who has more than a wife. He is the cause now of those things in our societies. Because he has children and he is not able to cater for them. So they become bad boys in the streets. Weed smokers in the streets. Armed robbers in the street. Killers in the streets. The lady become prostitute in the streets. You understand? This is one of the disadvantages also when it comes to polygamy. So there are so many things wrong. So many disadvantages of polygamy. Let's go back to the Genesis. Bible say God created a man and he made a woman a helper for the man, which is Adam and Eve. They have a very happy family. Thank you very much, madam. So, madam, in a conclusion, there are so many disadvantages of having more than a wife. When we want to, put it in the balance, the advantages and the disadvantages, I believe the disadvantages weight more than the advantages. So, those who have not yet involved in any relationship, make sure get married to one. That's the best thing to do. And I don't see why some of our sisters also, because of money, they accept being a second wife. This also is not the best. Hold on. God will give you a very good husband. Thank you very much, madam.
Okay. Mr. Florent Azuma, you are also welcome to the studio of Radio Lomé. Florent, what did the law of Togo say about polygamy?
I thank you for the question, madam. First of all, I greet you and I thank you for the invitation. I greet also our faithful listeners who are listening to us in this moment. Okay, to jump to the question, what did the law of Togo say about polygamy? When we refer to the Persons and the Family Laws Code, Article 42 in that code says, monogamy and polygamy are recognized by the law. The option is declared by the spouses in some conditions fixed by Article 51. Nevertheless, monogamy is a kind of marriage centered on the common right. So this is what the Article 42 says in the Code of the Persons and Family Laws about polygamy in Togo. When we refer also to the Article 51, it says the declaration of monogamy or polygamy option is subscribed by the future spouses before the officer of marital status in the moment of wedding celebration. So referring to these articles, it means that polygamy is certified by the government in Togo. Men are free to practice polygamy on Togo's territory because the law has given its okay. The law in Togo doesn't condemn polygamy, but has rather allowed it. So men are free in Togo to practice polygamy because the law has given its okay. So polygamy is certified in Togo. Polygamy is allowed, and polygamy is recognized. It's recognized by the law in Togo. So this is what the law in Togo says about polygamy. Thank you.
From your point of view, what will you add to what they have just said about what did the society say about polygamy?
Yeah, thank you, madam, for the question. Yes, what did the society say about polygamy? In the society, we have some persons, we have some people who are for polygamy, and in the same moment, you have others who are for monogamy. But those who are for polygamy are numerous than those who are for monogamy. Okay? For those who are for polygamy, for them, polygamy is a good thing. The conception that they have of polygamy is a good thing. So they are well pleased to be polygamous. When you ask them, why have you chosen polygamy, or why are you living the life of polygamous, they give arguments. They justify their position. They justify their matrimonial situation because they are well pleased to opt for that choice. They say that they have advantages in the field. That is why they have chosen polygamy. So when you are a man and you choose polygamy, you are free to marry even if it is 100 women. You see, these are the argument of some people, of some polygamous. So in the society, we have these persons who think that polygamy is a good thing, who has a positive conception of polygamy. And in the same society, we have another people who are for monogamy, and those people are not numerous like people of polygamy. For the monogamous, monogamy is a good option. If I refer to the statement of my co-guest, Mr. Daniel, as he has said it, the Bible is not agree with polygamy. Even if the law in Togo certified polygamy, as a Christian, you don't have to live the life of polygamous. You are not permitted, you are not allowed to be polygamous or to practice polygamy, because the Bible, that is our book, doesn't allow us, or God, through his words, doesn't allow us to be polygamous. So we need, as a Christian, to refer to the statements of our God. Okay? So monogamous are those who have a fear of God in them. Monogamous are those who have a negative conception of polygamy. So in the society, you have these two kinds of class. One class who think positively about polygamy, and another class who think negatively about monogamy. For those who are for polygamy, they are also thinking that monogamy is not good. So when they opt for monogamy, their freedom will not be wide. Yes. They think also that when they are monogamous, their wealth will be shared with their wives. This is what they think. But as a Christian, when we learn really about the life of a Christian, when we learn really about that, we must know that for a Christian or for a child of God, it is not a matter of polygamy, but it is a matter of monogamy, to be married only to one woman. So this is what the child of God must keep in his heart. So you see, so in the society we have these two classes. We have one class which is for polygamy, who thinks positively about polygamy, who has a positive or good conception of polygamy, think that polygamy is a good thing. And that class is on the God's path. Okay, thank you.
Elhaj Imam Abdullahi Alagbo Azakawi, Imam at the Mosque of Yokwe, welcome to the studio of Radio Lomé. Imam, what are the advantages and disadvantages of polygamy in Islam today?
Oh, thank you, Alhaji RAMATOU, about the question you asked me now. That what are the advantages of polygamy in Islam today? What I can say about this one is that views are different. While my perspective might not have similarity with yours, the advantages I can point out are as follows. Promoting social justice. That means polygamy can promote social justice and equality, which simply means permission or allowance of a man to provide for more women who may not have source of support. In cases where a woman is unable to find a suitable partner, polygamy became beneficent for such women to find a caring or responsible partner who can fulfill her wants and needs. Number 2, polygamy promotes family stability by providing men with the option to remain married to their wives, even if they are unable to have children or their wives become ill or disabled. This can help to maintain stability and well-being of the family unit and prevent unnecessary divorce and breakup of families. About the disadvantages, shortly, these are the disadvantages of polygamy. Number 1, too much of jealousy between the spouse. Number 2, poor marital satisfaction. Number 3, lack of trust. That's what I can say shortly about the advantages of polygamy, because everything have advantages and disadvantages. I've talked about advantages, and this one I mentioned now is disadvantages of polygamy. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much indeed for your explanation. Imam Abdullahi Alagbo Azakawi from the Mosque of Yokoe, I'm glad to have you on the program of today. What did the Quran say about polygamy?
Now, what did the Quran say about polygamy? When we look at the Quran, in Quran chapter 4, verse 4, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala quoted Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَإِنْ أَخْتُمْ وَلَا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى فَانكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَىٰ وَثُلَاثًا وَرُبَاعًا فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ وَلَا تَعْدِلُوا فَوَاحِدَةً أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ ذَلِكَ أَدْنَىٰ أَلَّا تَعُولُوا. Allah said, if you're scared of not being virtuous with the orphans, so marry amongst women, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. But if you can't be equitable, it is advisable to choose one. So in this ayah, it will surely be known and understand, and it is permissible for us to marry more than a wife, which is called polygamy. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran.
Thanks very much indeed for your explanations. Imam Abdullahi Alagbo Azakawi from the Mosque of Yokoe, I'm glad to have you on the program of today.
Thank you very much.
Flora Azuma, thanks for having you in the studio for our discussions of today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Mr. Daniel Kofi Dugbaja, I'm grateful for your participation in today's discussions.
Thank you.
Mr. Abochivia, thanks for being part of our discussions of today.
Thank you very much, madam.
And this is how we draw the curtain on our discussions of today. My thanks and gratitude also goes to the crew on duty and also to our faithful listeners. God willing, join us next week Saturday for another edition. Until next week Saturday, when I will come your way again, remain blessed.